Welcome, race fans, to ETV's live flag-to-flag coverage of the RSN TrueGravity Truck Series, where the boys and girls are rolling into Brooklyn, Michigan tonight, out here at Michigan International Speedway. And in the booth joining me, as always, my partner in crime, David Big Mouth Bass, will be here tonight. Alongside him also be the bad boy, John Westling, the legendary one. He's going to be bringing us all the action from all the angles tonight. Partner, what are we looking for tonight, man? I'm really amped up for this race, man. What do you expect we'll see tonight, buddy?
I tell you, I'm looking forward to this one as well. You know, we're going to see some of these guys probably 3-4 wide at times, especially late in this race as it comes down to it. In the meantime, I expect we'll probably see some green flag racing. This racetrack definitely tends to bring it out in these guys.
Oh yeah, very wide track. You can make speed anywhere, top to bottom here, and there's a little apron to use down there, no yellow line to penalize you for. So, yeah, we're going to see trucks all over the track tonight. Great race in action. But right now, let's turn our attention trackside to the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Welcome back, race fans. That was an awesome rendition of the national anthem, and that means it's business time. It's time to get right down to it. As the drivers have all turned their qualifying laps, we got a strong grid tonight. Let's go ahead and run you through the field. On the front row, starting on the pole, the number 40, Josh with a factor lot and with a 42.003. Outside him's going to be AJ Brown, the number 51 with a 42.099.
All right, starting in row 2. In third place is going to be the 6th of Steve Salmonator Salmons. Outside of him, 38 is Steve Rosner.
Row 3, starting on the inside, Businessman, number 10, Sean Bickle. Outside him is going to be the number 52 of Dawn Klein.
All right, starting 7th is going to be the 29 of Todd Jewell. Outside of him, Downtown Sean Brown starting in 8th.
5th row, inside line, starting 9th place, the number 15 of Brian Pace. And outside him, the number 99 of Steve Speece.
11th place, number 3 of Larry Trevino, and outside of him in 12th, the 21 of Mark Robertson.
Back here in 13th is Tanya James at number 16 truck, and outside her is going to be Tom Straught on the 41. I'm not showing him on the grid yet, but that's a position he should be gridded up in, so we'll just have to see if he joins. But there's your field for tonight. And partner, one thing I'm noticing right out of the gate is these two, A.J. Brown, the 51, and the 6, Steve Salmons, we can't separate them. They come in here 1 point apart in the championship standings here at Race 4, and there they find each other in second and third. So expect to see a lot of points there. There's Sean Bickle right there in the mix, too, as well. So should see a lot of points races start to shape up tonight.
Yeah, as these guys start to roll off the grid, going to be getting the green flag here in just a little bit. But yeah, absolutely. These guys that are sitting first, second, third in points, starting second, third, and fifth, so they're all up there in the front, really looking to do something with these guys. Josh Lawton got the pole. He missed the first race of the season, came back and ran last week. So he's a little bit behind these guys. However, if he runs all these races, we do have that 2-race drop, and that could be huge for him.
Yeah, well, Josh Lawton runs in the DWC series, and so he's running on Tuesday nights on every other week. Unfortunately, that's the same night we run, so he's not going to be able to run. But they are coming to a close in that DWC series in iRacing soon, so maybe we'll see Joshua Lawton factor full-time second half of this season. That'd be kind of neat. But, yeah, I tell you what, I was really surprised because he's got a lot of experience in iRacing, and a couple weeks ago when he ran at, I believe it was Chicago, well, they gave him all they could handle. Our RSN regulars were really giving Josh Lawton all they could handle and giving him a good race. So I expect to see the same tonight on a track that's actually even a lot more forgiving and has a lot more room to race than Chicago did.
Yeah, and we do have a report from pit road. Tom Serrato was not able to get that truck fired, so some kind of electrical problem. So if and when he does come back, he will definitely be several laps down. But that's the report from that. But these guys coming through 3 and 4, I believe they're going to be getting the green flag here momentarily.
Yeah, it's 80 laps, folks. 80 laps tonight. That's 160 miles. We're about to get it all started right now. Josh Lawton, he getting the nod from the stick man. Green flag is out, and we're underway, race fans.
A great start by Josh. Really is able to pull on that second-place truck of A.J. Browning right now on the inside. And I think here for the first little bit, you'll see these guys run a little bit too wide, but we'll start to see these guys stretch out a little bit, try to figure out where they're going to be. We may see them run 3 wide here at some points early here, but after that, we'll see them single file and probably run quite a few laps under green flag racing.
Yeah, this track really does have a tendency for green flag racing. As mentioned before, there's a lot of places you can run and make speed. I should mention for any new viewers that all our drivers are in a fixed setup tonight. RSN Truck Series is always fixed racing. I've got a close call with the 6th and the 38. But, yeah, you can make close calls all night and still make speed, and it's a good track for that, so it really lends itself to green flag racing. But when they wreck them here, they tend to wreck them big. And you know what, partner? It occurred to me after last week's show, believe it or not, at Bristol, we didn't see a truck on its lid for the very first time in the RSN TrueGravity, iRacing tenure here. So maybe we'll see one on the roof tonight. What do you think?
I know a few of these guys have some serious troubles in practice, especially coming off the turn 2. The guy on the bottom, if he's trying to make a pass, gets a little aggressive with that throttle pedal, and that thing will turn sideways, and if he tries to correct it at all, it'll grab and shoot himself up against the outside wall. If there's a truck out there, it could get exciting in a real big hurry.
Absolutely. It's a little bit of a challenge back here with the 99 and the 65 still racing it out side by side. Looks like that's going to be for 8th position. Sean Brown's committed to the upper groove, and Steve Speece running on a much lower line. They kind of meet in the middle there on the exit 2, but the momentum goes the 65's way. It looks like he's going to capture that position. A little wiggle for Steve Speece there coming out of 2.
Yeah, that's kind of what we've been talking about, coming off of turn 2 especially. As we see the 52 of Don Klein down on the bottom of the track right there as these guys all go by him. Not sure exactly what happened right there, but big loss of positions for him. But the guy on the bottom off of turn 2 seems to have a real hard time getting those rear wheels to hook up, and you'll see him get a little squirrely.
Oh, for sure, yeah. It can't be treacherous. You're really carrying a lot of speed through the center of these corners when it shifts away to the rear, and you got your wheel pinched when you're all the way on the bottom. You got to crank to the left. Weight shift can be a little nasty there, and you just kind of got to ride the slide out of there. Hopefully it'll tighten up for these drivers as we run laps, but yeah, you're absolutely right, partner, on low pressures and cold temperatures. We got a challenge now up front for the lead. A.J. Browning, you got to look to the inside of the 40 to Joshua Lawton. They come a little close there, going down to 3 and 4, side by side for the lead. A.J.'s looking for the lead here. The 40's fighting back on the top. Now here comes the 6 charging up on the 38 behind him.
2 by 2 as they get ready to cross the stripe. Lawton's going to hold that position at the moment, but 2 by 2 for the first 2 rows, so these guys are definitely going at it. I'm a little surprised to see Sammons get up there and start mixing it up this early there, Outlaw.
Yeah, well, this track here, this is a playground track for the Rangers, man. And this is a track where, you know, even the guys who like to lay back and save their stuff will find themselves in a gunslinger match just for the heck of it. I mean, it's just such a fun track to drive, and as we mentioned before, there's so many places to make speed, find grip, even a fixed setup that you just, you know, you find yourself making moves and racing just because it's fun. And I think we're gonna see a lot of that tonight from the drivers that are out there enjoying themselves, and it's gonna probably be a lot of fun for us to watch. As now, that deal there when they got side by side has now made this the six horse line for the time being. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see these guys bunch up and get into a glob time and time again throughout this race.
Of course, and the other thing that comes into play here, because this is a 2-mile track, and these trucks punch huge holes in the air, you're going to see the draft come to effect. So these guys that are in, you know, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th place right now are getting a huge tow down these stretches, and that's really giving them the opportunity to, you know, get a slingshot almost type effect getting into these corners.
Oh, sure. And the 65 is getting to the point where he's going to start to enjoy some of that as well on his noses. He's got himself about 9/10 of a second back, but he's closed in about a half a second the last few laps there. So the 65 is Sean Brown in in 7th place. He's moving forward, trying to pull onto this back of this lead chain here. So we got a slow one on the bottom.
I'm looking to see who that was. I wasn't sure who it was. It definitely didn't look like one of the normal trucks that had been up front. So somebody definitely had a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, it was the 6 of Steve Rosner, or excuse me, the 38 of Steve Rosner. Off of turn 2, he goes for a wild slide. Doesn't look too bad, but believe me, he was filming a lot more than that in the cockpit. Now I'm hearing there's a caution on the track. It was a great save, by the way, by Rosner. He's okay. There's a wreck somewhere on the track. I'm not sure who it is. Yeah, it looks like Steve Speece. It looks like Steve Speece in the number 99 truck is real tore up here. Might have to dig up the ETV replay and see what happened on that deal. Bad boy, what you got for us? Yeah, heavy damage to the 99. Not sure how he ended up that way. We'll have to dig it up on the replay, but man, he is really whammoed. Curious to see if anybody else got involved in that.
See if I can pull that up here. I believe the 99 ended up on his lid, but fell back on his wheel. He gets really loose, gets to the outside wall. Somebody's going to come out and just waylay that 99 car, get him airborne. He didn't roll, but he did take some major air. And that 99 machine is in deep trouble, guys.
Yeah, he might be done. That was a real violent hit. And Don Klein, the 52, was the truck who came in and just tattooed him. He's no mas as the engine let go on impact there. So both of those trucks are probably going to be taking it behind the wall, unfortunately. Only 2 trucks involved. And everybody's coming to pit road for the most part. Our top 2 stay out. A.J. Browning and Joshua Lawton stay out, as well as Tanya James. And the number 16, she elects to stay out. And well, I think that might be a good move. But you know what we ought to do right now? I think what we ought to do, race fans, is set you up with the point standings. We got a really good points battle coming into this. Is race 4. We run a 12-week season. Only the top 10 of your scores will count, so each driver will get 2 drop weeks. We're working, as I mentioned here, this will be race 4, so we're 3 weeks in, and bad boy, what are the point standings looking like?
Yeah, but I got him up here, Jesse. Steve Salmon's leading them off here. He up 1 spot from last week at 127 points. We are following the new NASCAR point system here, so basically 1 point for a win. A.J. Browning down a spot. He was our leader the week before that. Sean Bickle, he's up 2 spots. Steve Rosner, he's staying idle in 4th spot. Scott Collins, 104 points in 5th spot. Larry Trevino, 100 points. He's in 6th spot. Howard Pittman, 7th, which I don't think I've seen him here tonight. Or Jody Johnson, which is in 8th spot. Mark Bowling's not here. He's in 9th. These guys are going to lose big spots to Sean Brown, who was up 7 spots from last week.
Yeah, if you guys using their drop week tonight, which surprises me, it's such a great track, but there must have been prior engagement from some of those drivers, and for fans of those drivers who aren't here tonight, fear not. As I mentioned before, you do drop 2 scores, so when we hit week 11, when we get to the championship weeks in the RSN TrueGravity inaugural season, that'll be week 11 and 12, and that's when you're really going to see the points shake out because everybody's going to start to use their drops. And for the guys who make every week, they're going to have a commanding lead, and then all of a sudden, you may be surprised at the end of the season when some of these guys who were down a week or two run those last couple of races, and boom, they're right back in the standings. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that all season long. And thanks, Bad Luck, for the update. The lights are out on the pace car, buddy. We're going to be going back to racing next time by.
Yeah, we sure are. And, talking about, the guys that have had some bad luck early on this season already, we've talked about Sean Bickle being one of these guys that, as we put it, checkers or wreckers here recently. Had a good run last week. Unfortunately, I believe with Chicagoland really did not have a good week. But anyhow, he's definitely probably going to be losing one of those drops like you're talking about for one of those races. But, up front, everything's been pretty clean. I'm curious to see what Tanya James does up here, sitting in third place, the first of the ones that didn't take tires. So it's going to be interesting to see what that happens. Granted, we're only, about 10 laps into this race, so I don't think tires are going to be a huge thing, but you just never know.
Yeah, absolutely. Tires are okay here, really. I mean, there's wear, but there's not really much fall off. So, in all actuality, with that many laps on the tires, the old tires are probably better than the new tires. Believe it or not, with the way this tire model works, because they don't have to go through the low pressure deal. They've already scuffed up a little bit, so they'll go out there and start gripping right away. But we'll have to see. As Larry Trevino, also outside of her, took 2 tires, and he moves himself up to 4th place. So we've got to shake up front as the 40's going to lead us to the green flag. The flag is out. Back in the green flag racing action.
And once again, Lawton gets a great jump on that start and is able to pull A.J. Browning. A.J. decides, you know what, I'm not going to stay up there this time. As soon as I get across that line, I'm ducking in behind Josh to give myself an advantage here, give it so I don't have somebody trying to challenge me as they're looking to try to make it 3 wide from 1 and 2 behind them.
Yeah, they were. Rosner had the run. He thought about shooting a gap there, and he decides to back out. Cuts Sean Bickle in 10 a break as the 15 goes inside the 65, and we're going to be racing down here for a few laps. As we mentioned, there was a shake-up. 38 gets a big wobble. He catches it. Great job by the 38 to catch it, and a fantastic heads-up. No moment there for the 65 of Sean Brown to keep off of it.
Yeah, and we just saw a huge crossover move made by Tanya James. Steve Sammons got her down the backstretch, but going into turn 3, she was able to cut right back under him and get herself in a position to battle him through 1 and 2 on the bottom. So Tanya is giving these guys as much as they can handle, too, although she just gets real loose right there, getting into 1 and 2, and man, got loose off, so that's going to cost her some spots.
Yeah, she had a little bit of a moment right there, didn't miss Mrs. Outlaw, but she's looking good in that Fear Me truck, and she let him know that today they're going to have to fear her. And she looks to the inside of the businessman, and Sean Bickle looking to recapture the 5th position. Fifth position, and here comes the 15 looking to make it 3 wide on the inside. He backs out. 15 right to the back of the 16 now, shoving her down towards turn 1.
Got to be careful doing that, as we see that 15 really looked like he had to hit the brakes to keep off of her getting in the corner. And unfortunately, that caused him to really overshoot the corner a little bit, hurt his time, and he's going to drop several spots. Yeah,
it's now the 65 looks to the outside of the 16. Up front, no change. Still the same drivers out front here. And this is the best racing action on the track, as now the 65 begins to look in on the 10 of Sean Bickle. Look at the run the 65 has. Sean Brown, he gets to the inside of the 10. Down the front stretch he goes, looking for that top 6th position.
That was an impressive move by Sean Brown right there. Kind of stay up high and then kind of cut the corner just a little bit sharper than Bickle did right there, and get that run off the corner. That was a power move by him.
Yeah, I will tell you that this is the best racing action back here between all these guys. However, while all this great racing action is going on, the 40 and the 51 are checking out at the moment. But got my eye on the 38 as the 38 now looks to the inside of Sean Bickle in the 10. And he's making a power move down there at 3 and 4 to the inside, looking real good. He had that wobble earlier. He's recovered from it. Bang, he's going to pull a slide job on the businessman right there. Now the businessman, he's thinking about crossing over. Is he going to do it? Nah, he's going to back off for now. It's not quite business time.
Now, I'm a little surprised to see this right now. Bickle was one of the fastest guys early on, but he seems to really be sliding back since his last restart. I'm not sure if he's trying to save tires or if he's just not in a real comfortable spot or what's going on, but he's about to lose another spot to the 15 of Brian Pace.
Yeah, he's going backwards right now. We've got comers and goers, and we've still got 65 laps to go, so we're going to have to wait and see how things shake out. But I tell you what, the 29 is moving forward. He gets to 4th place by the 3. He's starting to pull on Larry Trevino now a little bit, and he's trying to run down those top guys. Steve Salmon's in the 6, our points leader. He sees the 51 getting away, and he's like, not so fast, young man. And he's got himself about a second and a half behind right now, but he is pulled away from everybody behind him, and he's running equal to or a little quicker than our top 2 right now, even though they're hooked up. That's impressive.
It sure is, and you know that those top 2 right now, all they're thinking about, keep putting distance on the rest of this field. We'll go racing later.
Yeah, they're looking at the racing in the mirror, and they're going, boy, that looks like fun, but I'm glad I'm not doing it right now.
Absolutely, because they know they're gapping these guys as they're still almost, looks like they're putting about maybe a half a tenth or so a second on these guys. Salmon's doing everything he can to hold on to about 1.6 seconds back, but they are just ever so slowly pulling away from him.
Yeah, a little bit. They are running really good out front. Looks like for the most part, I'm not seeing any racing going on right now. I'm looking like everybody's pretty much for the most part catching their breath for a moment here. The 29, he's running very good lap times right now. He's running a little bit quicker than Steve Salmons is. About equal to, maybe a little quicker. He's going to have that draft, so that's going to help. And, when the 29 gets to the 6, assuming he does run him down, that may help them both. When they get together, they may be able to kind of do what the 40 and the 51 are doing up front right now and use that draft to their advantage. It's a 2-car tandem.
Yeah, exactly. And those 2 guys up front right now are running about a tenth to a tenth and a half faster than the 2 guys behind them. So that's definitely giving them a little bit of advantage, routing a little faster that time than Josh Lawton. But still, they're running 42.3s to Steve Salmon's 42.4.
Yeah, and another thing that they're doing right now is they're showing the rest of the field that the tires aren't that important. They're showing that the new tires aren't necessarily an advantage in the early going. It's once these tires cool off in this new tire model in iRacing, it's almost like they're brand new. If you pull on pit road, you see the wear percentage, you'd see they're wearing. But as a driver, you feel like you pretty much got the same grip, and in some cases even better grip than you had on fresh tires, and you don't have to wait for them to really come up. You drive off in that first corner at speed, and you feel like you've already got tires that are worked into the track. So, that's definitely something that all the rest of these guys they're gonna learn that, they're gonna know that now, and it's good to learn it early. So now they can kind of plan for their green flag pit stops, assuming we stay green. And realize they're probably not going to need all 4 tires. I think that they'll be able to take 2. However, for the guys who did stay out, that you could argue that a few extra laps, that few extra laps of fuel will make them stay on pit road maybe a second or a second half, maybe upwards of 2 seconds longer to top the fuel tank off, as opposed to these guys who did come in and top off on the caution. You know what I mean? So that could play into it in their favor.
Yeah, that's exactly, as that caution came out and I saw those couple of, those 3-4 drivers stay out, I'm going, how's that going to affect them on fuel? This is an 80-lap race, and I think that's pretty close to make it on one stop, but it may be just a little bit close. I'm not sure how this thing's geared, and unfortunately we weren't able to get a accurate, fuel mileage reading from these guys, so that could be huge, but up front, whoa! 29, and Todd Jewell just goes for a huge slide coming off of turn 4, but still is able to keep the momentum and duck his nose underneath that 6 of Steve Salmons.
Well, that was a moment there for Todd Jewell. He's going to take that 3rd position away from Steve Salmons, and it looked like that's something that they might have orchestrated there. I think maybe they feel like they'll be faster with the 29 out front. But he's gonna have to settle it down coming out of the corner, partner, because he is getting her loose. He's hanging her out. He's letting that dog eat.
Well, I was just getting ready to say before we saw that he was the fastest guy on the track by pretty close to a tenth of a second, but he may be using those rear tires up an awful lot coming off the corner.
Yeah, for sure. And partner, I did get some data back from my better half, Mrs. Outlaw. She 16 pulls up to the outside of the 15 now. I did get some fuel information back from her that they'll be able to do between 42 and 47 laps without having to save too much. So, little contact there between the 15 and 16.
Sideways. Tanya James in the wall. I'm sure that's going to have to bring out a caution.
Yeah, that's caution's out on the track. As the 16 and the 15 come together right there. I had to dig it up on the ETV replay. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I saw that, and unfortunately, Tanya definitely took the worst end of that as Brian kind of slid sideways and was able to gather it back up. But big bad boy, you got a replay?
Yeah, it looks like Brian Pace hit that apron, slid right up into the door. 16 of Tanya James. She's going to take a hard lick into the outside wall. And Jesse, she's not screaming too loud behind you, is she?
No, she's we steamed our veggies before the race, and so we got our zen going. She's got the meatball flag, however, though. So she's going to have to come down pit road and definitely get that thing worked on. But yeah, no, she's doing all right, bad boy. You know what I think we ought to do? Well, let's see what these guys do for pit road first. We'll be going to commercial break here momentarily, but let's go ahead and bring you some pit stop intervals here. See who takes 2, who takes 4, and how this shakes out on pit road. Is no doubt. I think they'll all come this time. I don't know though. You can't make it from here, so I wouldn't be shocked if the 40 and the 51 stayed out. I would be surprised, but I wouldn't be shocked.
And right now, it looks like everybody's coming down pit road right now. I'm looking to see. The only one that looked like maybe was trying to stay out was Mark Robertson, but I think even he may have come in.
No, the Mark Robertson in the 21 does, in fact, stay out on the racetrack, partner. He's the only one. He's not a lap down, so I'm not sure if he's going to stay out or what. But for now, he's out. All the rest are in. Feeding trough is full. The hogs are coming, and let's see how many times this jack goes up. They all go up for right sides. Left side's going up on all the trucks except for the 10. Businessman and Sean Bickle. Sean Bickle comes out of pit road first. He takes 2 tires. Everybody behind him takes 4.
And it looks like Steve Rosner, Jesse's going to have the fastest pit time, 13.1 seconds. Actually, Sean Bickle with 9.3 seconds. That must have been a 2-tire change.
Yeah, partner. He took the 2 tires, and he's the only one brave enough to try it right there. I think it was probably a good move. I think that was a good move by the businessman. And, of course, we still got the 21 out here. We're not sure if he's coming down or not, but what we're going to do right now is we're going to get a quick commercial break, catch your breath. We'll come back and get them sorted out for you right after these messages. Welcome back, race fans. As we come back, the 21 of Mark Robinson hands the lead over to the businessman of Sean Bickle in 10, as the 21's going to come down and get his service now and move to the back of the line. Still working a caution. We got repairs going on for the 16. She's trying to stay on the lead lap. It appears she's going to be able to do so. Still with some repairs needed on that truck, but staying on the lead lap, beating the pace car, that's good. As mentioned, number 10, Sean Bickle, he's sitting third in points, coming in here 7 points back to our points leader, Steve Sammons, and now he finds himself in the lead on 2 tires. He's got the guys that have been leading the show the whole time right behind him with 4. You know what? We were talking about it during the commercial break, partner, and we both agreed. I think it's a good move. I think it's a really good move by the 10 of Sean Bickle, partner. What do you think?
Oh, there's no question it's a great move by him. He had come in on that first caution, got 4 tires, so it gave him the opportunity to take 2 here and really make up a lot of track position, which he lost. I think that's going to put him back up front where he wants to be and be in good shape and, definitely going to be good. Now, obviously, none of these folks are going to be able to make this race on fuel, so we are looking for at least one more pit stop.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing. I mean, with 55 to go, and the potential to maybe stretch to 50, but really no need to. You could come in, after 45, only 10 to go, you could take a splash of fuel and no tires. That's definitely a possibility if this thing goes green from here. That's what you could see some guys doing, or some taking two. It's going to be interesting. But before we get to that point, we got to get to the next point, which is the pace car ducking out of the way here and letting the businessman go. And see if he can hold these boys off behind him. This is going to be fun stuff. And we mentioned it earlier. The 10 was the least racing truck out there. He was really taking it easy, and that might have been part of his strategy. Green flag is out. They're off. Good, clean start. Dead even up front. Oh, the 40 pulls ahead. Oh, no. The 40 pulls ahead of the 10 slightly, and he may be getting black flagged for that. We have to keep an eye out on that.
Yeah, he definitely has some kind of restarts here. He's been able to do it on the bottom and on the top right now. And right now, he pulls from the outside line and is able to get that run down the backstretch and will take the lead. Now, the question is, like you said, does he get the black flag?
Yeah, so the 51 looks to the inside of 6. We're going to have to keep our eyes on that, see if the 40 goes to come down. I'm not hearing anything yet. But now the 10 disappears. He pulls a Kufaji move. And that was interesting. The 6 and the 38, side by side, back there behind the 51. A.J. Brown looking like he wants to get around the businessman. He knows he's been up front all day. He wants to stay in the wake of that 40 truck. He pulls to the inside of the 10. Going down to turn 1 and 2. He's going to try and catch a pull now from the factor, Josh Lawton. Clear the 10 coming up out. He's trying, but the 10 still got momentum. He's still there. Can't clear him yet.
No, and right now he's got the help of having that 6 of Steve Salmons right there behind him. Like we said, the draft is a big thing here. So if you can get a little bit of a run on the top and get somebody to kind of get up there behind you, you can definitely make some serious time down these straightaways.
Oh, absolutely. Here comes the 29 looking to the inside of the 38 now.
Sorry, that was close right there with the 51 and 10 down the front stretch. 51 came real close to that 10. Sorry about that.
Yeah, they're racing real hard for that position. They've crossed over now. Now the businessman on the inside, AJ and the 51 on the outside, as he's going to get the run now down the back on the outside line. He does. He pulls up beside the 10. Still side-by-side dogfighting out and back behind him side-by-side still. The 29 and the 38, that's Todd Jewell and Steve Rosner fighting over 5th and 6th position. Steve's got it. Todd wants it. And he looks to the inside. He goes to slide up now coming off before. He's going to capture that 5th position. Back behind them, back here we got the 3 of Larry Torino and downtown Sean Brown, the 65, they're kind of running until watching this thing shake out in front of them. As now there's a challenge inside. Rosner looks back inside now on the 29, so they just keep duking it out for those positions, partner. This is good stuff.
Yeah, it sure is. And Salmon's right now running that high line. Say, thank you very much. You guys keep racing like that. I'll just move right on by you, move myself back up here into looks like the 3rd position. I'll try to run these guys down, and you guys can go back to doing the racing you guys are doing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's A.J. Brown in the 51 has been able to get clear. He's pulled back up to the 40. His tow rope, he's holding on to that tow rope coming off the back of the 40 truck. He's going to try and check out of here. And the 6 and the 10 continue to battle for that position, and they're battling for position behind them. And this is what happened before. Deja vu, partner. Their view is of those 2 leaders getting smaller and smaller. But I tell you what.
Watching that, I tell you, the 29 is absolutely driving the wheels off that truck. Had that thing sideways, and he had a truck underneath him coming off a 2 and was able to keep it collected, kept it off the wall, and kept it off the truck inside of him. So great job by Todd Jewell. But tell you what, he's going to have to take care of those tires a little better, I think. Yeah, Todd Jewell's a crazy guy, man. He's a crazy character. I met him on here in iRacing a while back, and you talk to the guy, and he's so soft-spoken. He's such a calm guy, and he's a gentleman, and you would picture him as a real conservative guy, as him in the 65 now make contact on the track. But you put this nice guy in a truck or a car in this simulation, and boom, he turns into Tasmanian Devil, and he takes off. He's a real gunslinger on the track, fearless. I tell you, to have the skills to keep driving the truck that sideways is pretty impressive. I'm sure if I were behind the wheel of that thing with that thing as sideways as he's spinning. something tells me it'd been stuffed in the wall at some point there, Outlaw.
Oh yeah, he's definitely Todd Jewell is definitely a checkers and records kind of guy, man. He's gonna go out there and he's gonna lay it all out on the line every corner, every lap. He's gonna get whatever he can get out of his tires and out of his fenders, and it brings him some great finishes, and it brings him some parts and pieces sometimes too. But Todd Jewell is definitely an exciting racer. He's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, he is. It's pretty much the rest of this field looks like it's pretty much spread out here. We're not seeing a lot of racing, which is exactly what we kind of saw earlier on. After about 5-6 laps, these guys get strung out a little bit, and we start to just see single file racing.
Yeah, everybody's kind of stringing out right now, and Sammons is running these guys back down, and he's pulling Bickle with him, and Rosner's hanging in tow back there in 5th. So, they're not getting away this time. The two-car tandem of the 40 of Josh Wallotten and a 51 A.J. Browning, they're not going to check out so easily this time. These guys, they learned their lesson last time, and now they're they're getting in line. They're going to save their race until they can get up there and do it for the lead. Good move by these guys.
Absolutely. These guys were side by side. These guys back here 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th for a couple of laps. But unlike the last time around where these guys stayed side by side for probably 7, 8 laps, after 3 or 4 they said, this isn't getting us anything. And they started to see those two trucks check out again. Got this thing single file and pretty much are able to run those leaders right back down.
Well, I'll tell you who didn't get the memo, and that's the 29 Todd Jewell and the 65 of Sean Brown, because they continue to dog it out. As Sean Brown pulls the outside now, 1 and 2, outside of the 29. He's got the run. He's going to take the position away. And what a move for the 65. If we could pull that up on the ATV replay, in case we didn't see it live, oh my goodness. That was balls deep right there, man. He took it in there on the outside like a captain. Bad boy, did you get that?
Yeah, I'm pulling up on the E-play now, guys. You're exactly right. Sean Brown just dives it out there on the outside going, my God, is this thing going to stick or what? Todd Jewell gets a little bit loose. It's allowed Sean Brown to keep that line up there. What a power move by that 65 of Sean Brown, guys.
Yeah, there's been some good driving tonight, but I think that was definitely so far the move of the race. But that was commitment right there. As
Todd Jewell now goes back on the outside of Sean Brown coming off of turn 2 down the backstretch. These two guys refuse to give up.
Yeah, at some point, partner, it becomes a matter of pride, and they forget that there's anybody else even on the track. They don't care what position this is for. They don't care that there's anybody else out there. They don't even care if anybody's watching. They just get to a point where they go, you know what? I'm going to be in front of you. You're not going to be in front of me. It's not helping their race management that much, but it's a lot of fun to watch these guys duke it out. Man, they've been going at it a lot of this run right here. They've been duking it out for position the whole time. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it sure is. I got to tell you, after watching that 2090 as loose as he is, here comes the 65 to try to pull back up on him. I'm not sure I'd feel all that comfortable taking him on the outside because I've seen that truck so sideways.
Oh, for sure. I tell you what, I got my eyes on this 6 truck up here, our points leader. Steve Sammons, and that green truck is looking awfully froggy, like he's about to jump on this 51 A.J. Brown here pretty soon. He's shown the nose a couple times, but never committed to it. I think he's just trying to psych A.J. out at this point, or maybe he's trying to test the waters. But he's definitely there. And these 5 it definitely broke away now. I mean, the racing for 6th place and 7th between Todd Jewell and Sean Brown back there has found them now about 3 seconds out of the loop. But these front 5 are in a phone booth, and we could get it going any time now.
Yes, that looks like Sammons may have slipped there momentarily or something. Opened the door for Bickle, who sticks it in there, but unfortunately isn't able to keep the momentum up, and that's probably going to let the 38 of Steve Rosner get into this thing and take that position from him.
Yeah, absolutely he does. He looks to the outside partner, outside of 1 and 2. And he gets a little wiggle himself there. He's got the momentum, though, coming off of turn 2, and it looks like Bickle's going to go ahead and back it down and get in behind him here. Smart move. Ooh. Smart move there, and his front 2 are trying to get away. But I think that they'll probably all bunch back up here within the next few laps. I think all 5 of these guys will probably bunch back up again.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the 6, Steve Salmons, was side by side there, lost a little bit of time, but he didn't lose near as much time as Rosner and Bickle did, and he's still right there. But Rosner and Bickle, they're going to have to work together if they're going to be able to drive back up to these front two. I mean, they're only about, a half a second back. But these top 3, if they decide they're going to get going, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm seeing the 16 of Tony James. She come down pit road. She's been out there. They got it semi-fixed as best they could on that last caution. They were hoping for another caution, didn't get it, and didn't want to be in front of leaders. So she comes back down pit road to get it done. And when she asked how long it might take before they get her back out on the track, they threw her a Golf Digest and a caramel macchiato. So she's going to be there a while, unfortunately. But real classy move, though. She was having a tough time handling it. It was a hell of a job keeping her going in the first place with all that damage, and just didn't want to be in the way of these leaders when they come around. So a classy move by the 16, and they'll be getting back out there before too long. By the time the macchiato's done.
Absolutely, and I got to give her credit. She is staying out and running laps even with a truck that is severely damaged, and just keeps trying to get points and things. She's running 10th right now. It looks like she's already passed one driver here. I didn't see what happened to Larry Trevino, but the number 3 truck is no longer showing is actually on the track.
Yeah, he might have checked out to go play around the golf. Or wait, that's Lee Trevino or something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened with the 3 either. That's a good observation, partner. I hadn't even noticed he had checked out. Benso, watching this heated battle.
Whoa.
Oh, goodness. The businessman just cut the business side of the wall right there.
I'm not sure if he touched it, but if he didn't, he came awful darn close.
Oh, you're right. You're right, partner. I just pulled it back and looked at it. He didn't. That was a fantastic catch by the 10. He does keep it off the fence. So all 4 corners are straight, and he battles on as we're now working lap 42 out of 80. We're past halfway, partner, already.
Yeah,
these guys
pulled that back up on the E-play, DB, and you are exactly right. It scared him so bad he had that thing plumbed sideways on the back stretch.
Yeah, that was a great save by the businessman right there, and he stays right in tow. He didn't lose anything except for a clean pair of shorts on that one, and that's a good deal.
I was just going to say there, Outlaw, I thought I heard a little bit of radio traffic there, and I did think I heard him talking about needing a clean pair of shorts from his crew chief after that one.
Yeah, I'm sure. That was a moment right there. And these high speeds these guys are going, man, to catch them like that is now we got a challenge for the lead. Here comes the 51 looking underneath the 40 going into turn 1. Real
close.
Real close right there. The Hedgehog better not come out right now. There ain't no room. Oh, goodness. The 40, he got a good run down the back, though. He's not going to give it up easy. Not going to give it up easy, but the 51 is not going to give up the fight. And the 6 is just waiting to see how things are going to shake out. And, what this is this little gamesmanship here before the pit stops. The pit stop's going to be coming up here shortly. And the 51 looks like he may capture the lead. He's going to get it. The 51's got it. Now here comes the 40 with a crossover. Look out.
Man, and he barely cleared the 6, making that move to the bottom, too, and does get the position on the 51. This is going to be tight. I don't know, these guys 3rd, 4th, 5th may want to think about backpedaling here just a little bit to give these 2 guys a little bit of room, because racing this hard, you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and now the field begins to come up on the 16 Antonio James, and they're still side by side. Yeah, Joshua Lott, man, calmed the factor, but that was a little bit of NASCAR Tai Chi right there. He was shaking and banging and Kung Fu chopping. That was good stuff as he recaptures the lead. He says, not so fast. So excited.
I tell you, this whole top 5, I'd have to say, been Mr. The excitement, too. Is, we missed it as we're watching the top 5, but it looks like Sean Brown has gotten back around the 29 of Todd Jewell.
Yeah, they continue to battle back there. A little separation now, but yeah, that's been a hotly contested position back there. But these top 5, I tell you, they are making hay. Let's give a shout to Mark Robinson, the 21. I believe this is his first race in here. He was here last week at Bristol, but unfortunately he got hammered in the first wreck and wasn't able to continue. So these are his first real laps in here, and iRacing his first real laps in RSN TrueGravity Truck Series race. He's motoring around back there. He's sitting in 9th place. He's a good bit back, but he's motoring around. He's got a fairly clean truck. Actually, looks like he's got a clean truck. So, tip of the hat, nod to Mark Robinson, the 21 there, and the 15 of Brian Pace back there in 8th place. Same thing, man. He's had some tough luck in the races he's ran, and he's out here putting in a good one here. He's keeping all four corners clean, and maybe he's got some pit strategy up his sleeve.
Yeah, Jesse, that's what a lot of these guys need. I mean, they're new to the art or the iRacing sim. Sorry, they just need a couple good, sturdy runs. I mean, stay out of trouble. Just don't try and race up there with the leader. Just try and keep out of trouble and finish the race. Oh,
absolutely. No, it does wonders for you. I mean, you go out there and you get a real solid finish, man. It feels so neat, But you're absolutely right. So to finish first, you must first finish, and getting across the line with a clean truck is its own reward, especially when you're having a tough time doing that. Once you're able to do it, you go, okay, I can do this now, and now you can start to build confidence and actually go racing. So yeah, it's a good move to go out there and just kind of bring it home.
Yeah, and I'm seeing it looks like Larry Trevino has managed to get that truck back in this race. 7 laps down, unfortunately for him. But he is back on the track and has actually recaptured, it looks like, the 10th place that Tanya James had. So these two may have a bit of a race going here, Outlaw.
They sure do. They find themselves in 10th and 11th, both 7 laps down. And, I mean, I think Larry's truck looks a little bit better. In fact, his truck looks clean. I think what he had was some sort of issue where he had to step away from the computer or lost connection or whatnot. 16 Tanya James, unfortunately, she's got a lot of damage still in the rear, but yeah, they're on the same lap battling for that position, so it'll be interesting if we get a caution if they find each other on the track, if they're able to actually mix it up a little bit.
And yeah, absolutely, and I think they can really do it. And I'm watching these front 5 just because this is definitely where the closest racing's going right now. And I don't know if it's just a matter that they've run so many laps now under the green flag or what's going on, but I'm starting to see these trucks really look like they're sliding around a little more than they were early on there, Outlaw.
Yeah, a little bit, little wobbles here and there, but I mean the lap times they're still running 42.3s. They're basically running the same lap times they started out with. As I mentioned before, the fall off just really isn't there, but they do wear, and there becomes less margin for error. So on a big wide track like this, that's why you're not going to see really any fall off, because there's less margin for error, but the track is so forgiving that you don't really get a lot of fall off on the clock. However, with that less margin of error means if you get off your line that you're used to a little bit, it may not feel quite as good coming out. You may get a little bit of a chatter, a little bit of a wobble coming down the corner, up out of the corner. So that's probably what we're seeing, but they're still turning some wicked laps. This last time, Lawton runs at 293.
Yeah, they're running fast laps, but I tell you, somebody that's all of a sudden just dropped off the pace. The 38 of Steve Rosner in 5th place now is showing about a second, 1.2, 1.3 seconds behind this leader. So I don't know if he got the wall or something happened, but he has lost a ton of time.
Yeah, he's running a good half a second off pace right now, and if this continues, he picks it up that time. Now he's a little closer to what they ran. I think he might just had a couple off laps right there and had to get himself back together. As the right side of the truck looks clean, I don't see any damage. He must have just had another moment on the tires. But if he loses this draft and is not able to pull back up to them, it may be in his best interest to go ahead and get on pit road and get your service done now. Because at this track, if you go in and take right side tires, and you're in touch with leaders like he is, you go in and take right side tires, get a good stop, come out, you will stay on the lead lap here.
Yeah, we got a battle for 3rd place. There's no longer a battle. Sean Bickle just drives around the 6 of Steve Salmons to take that position in 3 and 4. Not even a challenge there.
Yeah, Sean Bickle, the businessman, moving forward up to 3rd place. And setting his sights now on our now points leader, A.J. Browning. It's going to go back and forth all night. It's A.J. Brown and the 51 and Steve Sammons in the 6. Came in at 1 point apart. Steve to the good. Steve to the advantage there. Our points leader coming in. A.J. has led that 1 lap where he did get around Josh Lawton. He led that 1 lap, and Josh Lawton took it right back from him. But he did lead that one lap, and Steve is yet to lead one yet, or is yet to lead one. So, yeah, it's gonna be all the little things. I think the way AJ Brown and Sean Pickle, Steve Salmons run, it's gonna come down to little things because they're gonna be around each other all season. Every week in, week out, these guys are gonna be raced in a phone booth.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And, you know, I got to harken back here to our opener, you know, a mile and a half, relatively similar banking, I believe, in the corners. And it came down to, I believe, about 6 inches at the start-finish line? Might we see the same kind of thing at this track there, Jesse?
Well, you know, maybe, I don't know, it kind of depends. If we get a late caution, maybe, but I feel like the top of 3 and 4 isn't that good, particularly later in a run. It's just, it works all right early. You can really make hay, as we've seen, on top of 1 and 2, really, early in the run, middle of the run, late in the run, whatever. You can make the top work if you can drive in outside of a guy and keep him from coming up in the middle. But in 3 and 4, it doesn't really work that way because it's very difficult to turn down without slowing down so much that the guy on the bottom can just jump to the outside of you, or jump to the outside and kind of block your run. And now we got a challenge for the lead. 51 AJ Brown, and he's going to try it again now down the inside of 3 and 4. He pulls the inside of 40 of Josh Lawton. He's got it for now. Now the 10's looking to fill that gap before the 40 can come back down. Not able to yet. Still outside. Joshua Lawton still got his nose outside, and that's what we were just talking about. Now if the 40 can stay there, AJ Browning will be forced to run real low in the middle of the corner here. But
ooh,
yeah, guys, don't want that 40 car to come down over the nose of that 10 car again this week because there's payback between that 10 car and 40 car, and I don't think Sean Bickle will be so apt to lift this time.
Now it's getting down to business time. It's now we got 25 laps to go, race fans. Just 25 more laps to go. That's 50 miles, still plenty of time, and a pit stop coming, and we're going to have to see who's going to come down and grab right side tires early and who's going to drive that fuel tank dry and come down for just enough to make it no tires at all. It's going to be interesting to see who does what there. Yeah,
what got my heart rate going there momentarily just a lap ago, Jesse, was I saw the 10 drive in underneath the 51 there, and that truck slid hard into the corner. He had to really back off it to keep from getting into the side of the 51.
Yeah, close call as he's going to look to the inside now, going down to turn 3. Looks to the inside of the 51. 51 goes up the hill a little bit. 10 right in the middle of the track. They're side by side now, off of 4. The advantage goes to the 10. He starts to pull on the inside and looks like he's going to capture the second position. So move the businessman up one more. And, boy, the 38 of Steve Rosner, partner, is really struggling. I think they ought to, if I'm his crew chief, I'm telling him, go ahead and come down and get your right side tires now. Get your fuel and take a breather because you're losing time, partner. It's something's going amiss. He must have a tire going soft. Something's going wrong with the 38 of Steve Rosner, and hopefully they bring that thing down pit road real soon and get it checked out before he cuts one down.
There's not much question they're going to have to do something here because he's losing far too much time at this point, and it's going to cost him, I'm afraid. 3.3 seconds now. You're going to have to make a pretty good even 2-tire stop to keep on the lead lap.
Yeah, it'd be close, and he's got here and there's trouble on the racetrack. It's been cleaned up. It was the 21 guy had a moment, but he gathered it up. But he's also given up time to Sean Brown in 65 and Todd Jewell in the 29.
Yes, we got another battle for the lead there, Jesse. Sean Bickle now is underneath that 40 going into turn 3.
He sure is. Businessman's looking to get into business. He pulls the inside 3 and 4. We got a challenge for the lead. As the bad boy mentioned, there's a little history right here. Let's see if these guys trade any paint. See if there's a little TrueGravity Hoosier action going as they get a little close down the front stretch now. Just close enough for hand signals. Not sure who led that lap. Very, very close.
I believe that's going to go to the 10 of Sean Bickle. Had about 3 inches on the 40. So definitely doing it. But here we go again. The 40's got that top side coming off of turn 2, and I think that's going to give him an advantage. Although Sean does a great job keeping that truck at least alongside him coming down the backstretch.
Watch the 6. Watch the 6. As he pulls right up to the back of the 10, he is going to get a monster run while these guys are duking it out because they're not just side by side. They're really using it up right now. I mean, Sean, look at him leaning. The businessman really leaning up the hill, coming towards the 40. And the 40, he's not backing it down. Oh, my God, they're racing real hard. And he's going to try and take it from a bolt right here. 3 wide, he's going to back it down. Steve Salmon's going to back it down. He's like, he's been there before. But I tell you what, he knows he can do that now. That's something, if this was 2 to go, he wouldn't have backed down. So, look out for that. Oh, my goodness.
And Sean got a little better run off of turn 2 that time, but he had a little bit of help from Sammons. They're dead even getting into 3, which I think that's going to give the advantage there to Bickle, provided he doesn't slip. As man, these guys are running awful close.
Yeah, they really are. They really are getting close, partner. And the 51, he's just kind of laying back there watching. I think the 51 is playing it safe right now. He knows they're going to have to make a pit stop, so I think he's just playing it cool right now. He's watching this. He's going, man, I just don't want to get involved in a wreck.
Yeah, and guys, they got lap traffic to 16 of Tanya James right in front of them, too, so this is going to add another degree of difficulty. She's going to do everything she can to stay out of the way, but, oh, boy, this is getting tight.
Yeah, she's going to pull down. She's going to let these leaders go here. She's backing down and let these guys go right here, and classic move by 16 of Tanya James. And that moment, though, allows the businessman to go ahead and get the lead. He's going to have room to slide up and close the door on the 40 here, but watch out, here comes the 6 with a big run. He's looking to the inside of the 40 now.
Yeah, I think he wanted to keep that 6 car tucked up behind him. A little bit of gratitude there for helping him get that lead, because I don't think he could have done it without the 6 of Sammons pushing him down the straightaways a couple of times, but Sammons now is going to slide into 3rd, but the businessman clearly to the front.
Yes, sir. With 18 to go, we got a new leader. Businessman Sean Bagel, he's going to take that lead after about a 6-lap battle side by side, and now the 40 is going to look to recapture it again the same way he did with the 51. Let's see how this works with the roles reversed as the 10 goes way up the hill. That's a product of the old tires going in on the top side of 3 and 4. It's not as easy as the 40 car made it look all them laps.
And here comes the 6.
The 6, yeah. Steve Sampson, the 6, recaptures 2nd place. He's moving his way forward. He gets to get up there and lead 1 lap, but he's going to be getting that bonus point, and that could make a big difference. As AJ got one earlier. We've got to watch these guys too, because I'm telling you, we're getting close on fuel. And these guys have got to be getting down now to within no more than about 6 to 7, 8 laps tops before they have to come down. So.
Yeah, there's no question that's going to be coming into play, because these guys are going to have to do something. And it's going to be who blinks first, and who blinks first is going to be that 6 of Steve Sammons.
Yeah, 6 Steve Sammons is going to get out of the mix, come down, and go get his 4 tires here as he gets her woed up. Good job getting on pit road nice and clean. We'll have to keep an eye on here to see if he takes tires at all, or if he just takes fuel. Big difference. You take tires, you're looking at about 8 to 9.5 seconds. For the right side tires in the splash. If you just get the splash, we're looking at about 3 seconds. So big difference here. The jack is not going up. He's taking fuel only, and he's away. 38's coming down.
Yeah, this is going to be the first domino in this whole race, and you're going to start to see these guys come quick, because they don't want to be caught out there with these guys. Granted, they're only taking fuel, but the more laps you put on it, the more likely you are for a caution to come out, and that's going to really mess things up for these guys.
40 and the 38 down pit road. 40 hands over the lead to come down pit road. 38 back there behind him. Long overdue for the 38. I felt like he should have come in a long time ago, but he finds his way down the pit road now. He's a 40, looks to pull into his stall up here behind the pace car.
Let's see if that 40 car does a little better job. Steve Salmon's 3.8-second pit stop, and Josh Watt is already twice that.
Tires going on the 38, tires going on the 40. I think that could have been a tactical error by the 40 car, or truck.
That was bad. That was probably not the right move, especially considering we are under green flag conditions. That's going to give Stammons at least, 3 seconds or better? Oh,
yeah, I would say at least that. Lawton got into pit road very well. He may have gained maybe a second on Sammons coming in, but on his in and out, but not in the box. He's going to lose about 5 seconds in the box. So, yeah, I don't know that was the right call. We'll have to see how this all shakes out. As we still, now that 51, A.J. Brown and Sean Bickle both on pit road, they take tires. Unbelievable. So the memo didn't get out to these guys. Salmons is the only one to take no tires so far. Sean Brown on pit road, he's taking right side tires. Every single driver out here is taking right side tires, with the exception of the 6 of Steve Salmons.
And he now has a 3.5 second lead over Josh Lott.
With just 13 to go this time by, rather 14 to go this time by for Steve Simmons, that's still 26 miles, 28 miles rather. That's a long ways, but he's not going to be giving up. This is going to be a perfect example of how tires don't really help you. Josh Lawton is a super, super fast driver, and we know that. We know he's DWC material. He's super, super quick. If he can make use out of new right side rubber, if anybody can, he can do it. But Steve Salmons is going to show that old tires are okay right here. This is a great move. Great move for the points race and great move for the win. I can't believe his crew chief nailed it, and all the rest of these guys missed the boat on that one.
Yeah, I'm looking through the pit road times here, Jesse, and Salmons was on in his pit stall for about 4 seconds. Oh, as he gets the wall off of 4, that could cause him some problems there, guys. But he had a 4-second pit stop. Josh Lawton is the second fastest with 7.2.
Wow, and that is a fantastic two-tire stop, might I add. 7.2 for 2 tires is very, very good. It's about as good as you can hope for. He better be taking his pit crew to the dollar menu for some French fries and cheeseburgers after this, because that's putting in work right there. Well, I tell you what, I want that pit crew, man. I come in for 2 tires. I'm sitting there for 9 seconds most of the time.
Well, absolutely. Now, we got to wonder, I talked about the 6 really looked like he collected that outside wall pretty hard off of 4. He's still got a 3-second lead over Lawton, but how bad's that going to actually affect that truck?
Well, it depends on how hard he hit it, and, and how, if he knocked off his steering, it's not going to be good. If he really upset, I don't see a lot of damage on the right front nose area of that truck. It looks like it's caved in maybe a little bit behind the headlight in front of the tire, but we'll have to see as he's coming up on 11 to go this time by, and Lawton is in a position where he's going to have to make up, 2.5 tenths a lap to be able to get to him, and that's a lot to ask. Even for Joshua Lawton, that's a lot to ask. If Steve Salmons can hit his marks. Now, if Steve Salmons starts feeling the heat, which I doubt he will, he's a veteran, but if he starts feeling the heat and he starts questioning his decision on not taking tires, he could find himself giving up extra time. But if Steve Salmons in the 6 truck just simply hits his marks and runs as fast as that truck can go, he should be able to hold him off by a second or maybe a little more than a second.
Well, it's going to be even better than that if they keep running these kind of lap times, because Salmons just lost maybe half a tenth that last time around to Lawton. So Lawton is definitely not on a pace right now to be able to catch him or come even anywhere close.
Yeah, I'm thinking the 65 with Sean Brown may have taken 4 tires. I didn't catch the Jack going up 2 times, but he might have, as he's shown way back now. 25 and a half seconds back. He was been battling with the number 29 Todd Jewell all night long, and now there's 8 seconds between those two. So, yeah, I believe either Todd took no tires or Sean Brown took 4.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pit times here. Todd Jewell's pit time was a 10.7, so he probably took 2. Sean Brown's pit time 17 seconds.
Oh, he took 4 tires and a snack on that one, Rich fans. That's no good. Goodness. Well, it is what it is now. I tell you, it's I don't see anybody who's going to catch anybody right now. It looks to me like it's going to come down to whether or not Steve Salmons can just simply hit his marks for 8 more laps this time by.
Yeah, there really isn't any kind of gap anywhere that's really going to produce much racing. Potentially back here for 4th and 5th between Sean Bickle and Steve Rosner, we might have a little race, but even that's going to be questionable at this point.
Yeah, I think so. It's just business time, and the old businessman's going to find that skinny pedal and put her to the floor, so it's going to be tough for the 38 Steve Rouser to get up there. But he's giving her a go. You know, he's giving her a go, but looking up to the front here, we had a 356 by Josh Lawton last time by in that 40 car, truck rather. The 452 for Sammons. That's a 10, but that's not enough. Not going to be enough with this many laps to go.
No, he's coming to 6 to go. Josh needs to be clicking off 6/7 of a lap on him to have any chance of catching him at this point, and that's just not happening.
No, and it's Sammons comes in. He steals one last week. How'd he do it? Partner? Pit strategy?
Pitch strategy? He's the one that took tires last week.
He takes tires last week, he steals the race. So this week they all take tires and you don't take none, and you're going to steal this race too. This boy is a thief. Thief in the night.
Yeah, this is going to be a disappointment for Lawton, who led 56 laps here tonight. Definitely the dominant car out there. Dominant truck, but just not, pit strategy at the critical time, and I bet there's going to be some people scratching their heads about what they got to do to beat this 6 truck.
Well, they're going to have to race him, and they're going to have to think with him, because he's taking him to school on racecraft right now. You know what I mean? And that was just a top-notch call last week. It's a top-notch call this week. It's not to say that he's not racing good and he's not able to beat these guys truck for truck, driver for driver, because he is. And he's shown that. But these last 2 weeks, he's beating them with his brains. He's beating them with racecraft and strategy. And, that's just surly veteran stuff right there. I love to see it. It's good stuff. And all these guys, they knew when they come out, they seen the gap, they knew immediately they knew they made a mistake. Every one of these guys started going, okay, there's debris on the track. I see rain on my windshield. They're looking for a caution because they know that's the only way they had a chance at the 6.
You guys don't speak now, but Josh Lawton has cut that lead to 1.8 seconds with 5 laps to go here. It might be possible.
Yeah, it could be. He's gonna need Sammons to make some mistakes, though. He's definitely gonna need Sammons to make some mistakes because he'll get that draft pull when he gets to about 3/4 of a second back to 0.8 of a second back. He'll start to get that pull from the draft, and if Lawton can get there, all bets are going to be off. But I don't see it happening. I think Steve is too much of a veteran to allow this one slip away here.
I've got to agree with you there, Jesse. And one of the things that has actually been able to allow Sammons to accomplish this is the fact that we've been under green flag racing now for close to 60 laps.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. I believe we have 1 caution earlier, and or 2 cautions rather, and so really a tip of the hat to all the drivers out here tonight in the RSN TrueGravity Truck Series have just done a fantastic job. We'll give ourselves a plug real quick, a pat on the back. Go check us out at RSN or www.rsn.net, racesimnation.net rather. That is, I butchered that whole plug. My bad. Let's just get back to the race. That's what we do best.
Yeah, and Lawton's got, it's down to 1.5 seconds, but we've only got, I believe, about, 2.5 laps here to go. So there's just not, I just don't see it happening at this point.
Yeah, it's going to end up just like I kind of anticipated. If Steve didn't make a mistake, I figured just over a second. I believe that's probably what it's going to be, is just over a second, right around a second. And it's going to be close enough for Joshua Lawton to see Steve Sammons smile in his mirror. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to be able to look into Steve's mirror and see Steve smiling down there in the driver's seat. It's going to be about as close as it's going to get, unfortunately. If this is a 90, or if this is an 85 lap race, I think Lawton would eat his lunch. But this being 2 to go this time by, Sam Nader's got her in the bank. He's just got to hit. He's going to have to hit 6 more corners here, and he's going to have it in the bank.
Yeah, and Steve's done a great job. And, we talked about the fact that, he could come out here and beat these guys, truck for truck. He's got the speed to do it. But the last couple of races, he has just flat showed these guys that, I can beat you truck for truck, but I don't have to.
Right. No, it's just it's understanding the race. As Steve Sams comes around, takes the white flag this time by just 4 more corners, 2 more miles, and we'll have a back-to-back winner, Steve Salmons, and a clear points leader. It's every race is its own thing. You never know what's going to happen when you go out there. You could call Miss Cleo and you could have her tell you what's going to happen, but even she's not going to get it every time because these races can be unpredictable. It's about being adaptable and being able to figure out what's the best situation. What do I do in this race to get the best outcome? And Steve Salmons is a master at that. He's Yoda when it comes to figuring out what's the best move. As he pulls off into turn 3 this time, coming down to turn 4, he's going to come off turn 4 this time, come to the checkered flag, and Steve Salmons is going to extend his championship points lead in the RSN TrueGravity Truck Series and pick up win number 2 on our inaugural season. Good job, Steve Salmons. Joshua Lyon going to come in 2nd place. A.J. Browning, he's going to come in 3rd place, and the businessman Sean Baker going to cross in 4th. Back to Steve Rosen. He's going to round your top 5, the number 38 truck. Hell of a race, partner.
Yeah, these guys have definitely shown us that they have figured these trucks out. They know how to race these things now. Able to put on good shows. We had great racing. 5 trucks there for the longest time right together, half a second apart. Able to keep the green flag out, not too many cautions. And it really has shown that these guys understand these things and are able to put on a good show, but keep it green as well, which for those of us that do a lot of these things every now and then, it's nice to see one of these things come down to pit strategy.
Oh, absolutely. It's always fun. It's always fun to see how the drama is going to work out in the pit strategy race. It's good stuff. And Steve Sams, I know he's pumped. He's down there. He's going to do some burnouts. What we're going to do is we're going to go to commercial break real quick before we give you the rundown, and we'll go picture for picture while you watch Steve Sams celebrate win number 2.
You're watching ETV Live, the leader in sim broadcasting. The very best in the business brings you the highest in broadcast quality and archived high-def replays for you to watch anytime for free. Superior audio and exclusive instant replays by the ETV ePlay machine. Producer John Wessling has talented commentators like the Cowboy, J.D. Webb, Tracy Flip Robinson on Monday and Wednesday nights, David Big Mouth Bass, and Jesse the Outlaw James calling the action on Tuesday nights, and don't miss the ETV Live Band. Broadcasting weekly from RaceSimNation.net. Catch the Halls on Post Monday night series, TrueGravity Truck Races on Tuesday night, and the infamous Team Series on Wednesday nights at 8:50 p.m. Eastern. Have some fun with the broadcast team in the ETV chat room. Hey, and listen to a live race canner. It's all at RaceSimNation.net on the live feed link. Remember, ETV Live, the leader in sim broadcasting. It's the only choice, cowboy.
Welcome back, race fans, to the DB Tech Services post-race show. We're wrapped up this RSN TrueGravity Truck Series race number 4 in our 12-race season. And once again in victory lane, Steve Salmons in the number 6 truck. He's the man right now. Last couple of weeks, he's been holding it down, extending his points lead now. Coming to 2nd place is going to be the number 40 at Josh Willott. 3rd place, A.J. Brown, the number 51. We're going to get interviews with those guys here in a few moments. 4th place, mentioned before, the businessman, Sean Bickle. Round out top 5 is going to be the 30 Steve Rosner. 6th place is going to be Todd Jewell in number 29. 7th place, 65 is Sean Brown. 8th place, good first showing for Mark Robertson, who's able to finish the race in number 21 in 8th place. Brian Pace in 9th. Tanya James going to round your top 10. The 3 trucker Larry Trevino in 11th. 12th place is going to be Steve Speece. Don Klein, the 52, is going to come in 13th. And a starting park of Tom Serrano in the number 41. So we'll look for a start and finish from Tom Serrano next week. I think he just had trouble with his internet. That's going to shake up the point standings. And I believe we got A.J. Browning and Bad Boys Captain A.J. Browning down there on Pit Road. Bad Boy, what you got for us?
I sure have. Just spectacular racing the whole night long, A.J. Just seemed like it was door to door the whole race. You finally seemed to fan out there just a little bit after the last pit stall, which is expected. It seemed like there was a big guess by the drivers on 2 tires, 4 tires, fuel only, a half a tank of fuel, or what to do there.
Yeah, first off, I want to congratulate Steve on the win again, and yeah, he got us with no tires this week, man. So, so we're gonna have to hire his crew chief for our team or something to beat that 6 car. He's flying right now, and the racing was awesome out there, running with Josh and Sean and Steve up there, man. It was a lot of fun tonight. I enjoyed it.
AJ, tell us a little bit about the track conditions tonight. I mean, we do run fixed setups here. What was it like getting behind these high-powered trucks here tonight with this fixed setup?
It was pretty loose starting out, and then man, after your 20, 30 laps there, when we were about ready to pit, I was so tight. I probably couldn't afford no tire stop. I was thinking about it. Just put a splash of fuel in to make me to the end, and 2 tires, and I would have probably, to go back and do it again, I probably went with no tires and tried my luck, but it was a good race.
Well, congratulations. A very good points night again for you, A.J. Brown. You always seem to finish in top 5 here, which would get you a lot of points. And just got to wait for that Steve Salmons just to slip up just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, he's having a flawless season right now. He's running better than me right now. He's making the right calls on the track, and that's why he's a points leader.
All right, A.J., great job tonight, finishing third position in the TrueGravity Truck Series here at Race Sim Nation. Anybody want to give a shout out before we send it up to DB?
Just want to thank ETV doing the broadcast, all the broadcasters, and all the clean racing out there tonight. That was a lot of fun for Michigan.
There you go, David Bass. I guess you're going to have to interview that Josh Lawton again, which came up just a little bit short this week.
You sure did, Josh. Absolutely the dominant truck out there. You led 56 out of the 80 laps. We thought you were pretty much the best guy out there. Had a couple of guys try to take it away from you, but you were able to get it right back. But tell us about the decision-making and stuff that happened on that last pit stop.
We were all racing pretty hard there, and I think a bunch of us were getting tight, and with only needing a little bit of fuel, you're going to get tight just because of the balance of the truck. And so I figured if I took 2 tires, it was like a risk versus reward. I thought 2 tires would overcome the no tires, and 3 more laps it probably would have. But congratulations to Steve. It's a tough pill to swallow. Pretty upset about finishing second after running that good, but that's racing.
Well, like we said, we were all watching the pit times, watching the strategy, and we saw Steve, the only guy to take no tires, and we're going, without a caution, that's going to give an awful big, an awful big gap. But you were able to overcome 2.5 seconds of the 3.5 second lead that he had on you. And you're right, probably another 3 or 4 laps, we probably would have seen a little different outcome. But overall, what did you think about the racing tonight and the track conditions and the setup?
Racing was fun. The setup, I don't think it was so much the setup as it was the track. Setup was good. You really had to time the way you'd unwind the wheel coming off of 2, or else you'd kind of snap loose. If you had too much wheel into it, you had to start unwinding it, and it got a little hairy at times because you had to swing it off just right. But I thought the fixed setup drove great. Those guys, the problem with Michigan is such a drafting track, which makes it fun because it gets real racy, and I think I showed Pickle that running the outside isn't as easy as he thought it would be because he got to the outside. I mean, he didn't look like he could do much out there, but it was real tough. I thought he would be able to use the outside more than I was able to. With the setup, I don't know if it was the gearing or what it was. You just couldn't keep the speed like the guys could that shot to the bottom of the track. Luckily, when we lost the lead, we were able to get it right back. But it was fun racing, man. It's fun racing with these guys. A lot of respect out here, and I mean, we were racing hard, but racing clean and fair, and I had a blast.
All right, bud. Well, we're going to give you the opportunity here to thank any sponsors, give any shout-outs, stuff of that nature here.
I just want to thank all you guys at ETV. It's nice to see the Outlaw back in the booth. It's been a few years since I've seen him up here, so it's cool to see him. I need to thank all you guys at ETV. I need to thank the guys at Racing Nation for letting me come over here and race with you guys. I miss racing with a lot of these guys, so it was fun to get back out there and battle it up with them.
All right, guys, and congratulations there, Josh. That was your second place finisher, Josh Lawton, and Outlaw, 2 weeks in a row, bud.
Yeah, Different track, same result. I'm down in a new victory lane with the same winner from last week. Steve Sammons, who last week takes tires to beat him and fools them all. This week he takes no tires, fools them all, and wins again. Boy, how does it feel to come out here and, you go out and you race with these guys, you dogfight it out, you show that you got muscles on the track, and, and you can hang and you can battle with them, but then you outthink them, man. And, tell us the difference between winning a race, driving by somebody and outthinking them. And I know it's two different things, but man, they both got to feel good.
Well, they feel pretty good. I mean, these guys are great racers. Josh, AJ, Sean, Steve Rosner, we were all up there battling really hard. I knew I was going to finish fourth either way when I came down to pit. I said, well, let's just take no tires and gas and, maybe it'll pay off. And it just sort of paid off for me. Josh was catching me really quick at the end. 3 more laps, it would have been different. 2 more probably. It's just tough racing, and you got to make different calls and tough calls at certain times. And I just got really lucky and made the correct call tonight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And to be honest, I mean, we were kind of calling that when you guys went back green. When you guys came down and pit under caution on that last caution, we were thinking, this is that window where you could definitely come down for a splash and go. We were wondering right out of the gate who was going to do it. And honestly, I thought all you guys were going to take no tires, so we were watching to see whose jacks went up. And when everybody else's went up and yours didn't, boy, I knew you were going to have a mirror full of the factor coming up in a hurry. But you're a wily veteran, man, and all your racing time experience, I think, allowed you to fight back the pressure and just get in your zen mode and finish them last laps. And it was really impressive to see you out there hold them off like that. But yeah, like you guys had all mentioned, man, I think if it was a 190-mile race, you might have been in trouble, but it was, or 170-mile race, you might have been in trouble, but it was a 160-mile race, but you had just enough to get there, man. Awesome stuff. What was it like there before that pit stop? You guys was all battling out, man. There was a lot of good crossover action, side by side, guys leaning on each other. Lots of good action, man. What was that like being in that dogfight?
It was really a lot of fun. All these guys, we really respect each other a lot. And, like I said, they're great racers. You can race each other like that here. High, low, both are working. Josh was leading. They would try to pass him low. He would get back by him high. That happened 20 times during the race. It was just really lots of fun. Trying to pick a line to go, and like he said, the draft works pretty good here, and then coming off 2 sort of got a little bit touchy out there, but overall it was a good setup, and it was a really good race.
Oh man, yeah, it was a fantastic race to watch. Come down to fuel mileage there, and everybody was kind of strung out, but that's exciting in its own right, and then the racing leading up to it, boy, you guys was in a phone booth for sure. That was a lot of fun to watch. Man, I got to bring up points. You come in here 1 point ahead of AJ Brown as the points leader. Now you win the race again. You led laps obviously because you won the race, and you're gonna stretch that out a couple more points. And now we go into Atlanta next week, man. How do you feel about Atlanta next week, buddy?
Atlanta's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot like Charlotte, I think, maybe. This points race is going to go down, like I said last week, it's going to go down to the last race. All these guys are good, and it's just going to be, whoever can not make the most mistakes is going to win this thing. It's going to go down to the wire and be that close.
Oh, I agree, man. It's like I was talking about earlier in the show. It's like a heavyweight title fight, and the 11th and 12th race is going to be like the 11th and 12th rounds. It's going to be the championship rounds, but I tell you what, like Pretty Boy Floyd, you're getting it done in the early rounds scoring points, man. You're looking real good. Before I let you go, give you a chance to shout out any family members, sponsors, friends, anything of that nature, buddy.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations to Joshua and AJ. They ran a great race. They were up front most of the night, and they did a really good job. You guys up in the booth, we couldn't do it without you all. You all put on a great show. The admin in the race, very nice of them to do that. I also like to give a shout out to my buddies watching the race, Jimmy Dials, Brenton Dials, Roger Fairchild. And thank you guys.
Right on. There he goes again. Class X, Steve Sammons in victory lane 2 weeks in a row. Race fans, look out. He's on a roll. As we mentioned before, we'll be going into Atlanta next week. It'll be the first time the RSN TrueGravity Truck Series has gone to Atlanta, so make sure and come check that out. That'll be next week right here on ETV at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Before we get to that, though, we better look to tomorrow. Tomorrow night, the RSN Team Series over on the ARCA side, hosted by JD, the Cowboy Webb, Tracy Flip Robinson, and bringing you all the action from all the angles is going to be the bad boy, John Wesley, the legendary one. So look out for that tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, right here on ATV. From my partner, the big mouth, David Baz, the legendary one, bad boy, John Wesley. This is the Outlaw Jesse James saying thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you right here on ATV next week.